It's 3 a.m. You wake up, you check your phone, you scroll. 30 minutes become an hour becomes two. Before you know it, the sun is rising. Millions of people go through this almost every night. Insomnia has become one of the defining problems of modern life. We buy sleeping pills, drink herbal tea, play white noise, and still, many of us can't fall asleep. Now imagine living 30,000 years ago. No mattress, no pillow, no bedroom, no electricity, no fan, no air conditioner, no sleeping medicine. And yet most ancient humans probably slept surprisingly well. Why? Did they know something we've forgotten? Or was their entire world simply built for sleep? Tonight we're going back, before cities, before smartphones, before alarm clocks, to find out how our ancestors rested under the open sky. At first, it seems impossible. Picture lying on open ground, surrounded by darkness, with a wolf or a lion somewhere in the dark and the weather liable to turn without warning. That doesn't sound like a recipe for peaceful sleep. But ancient humans didn't sleep alone. Families gathered around warm fires, and several members always stayed awake in turns, keeping watch while the others rested. The fire kept predators back. The group itself was the security system. Nobody needed a locked door when everyone was watching for everyone else. There was a second difference, just as important. Ancient humans didn't fight their environment. They moved with it. Sun up, they woke. Dark, and their bodies grew tired on their own. There were no bright screens, no midnight notifications, nothing pulling the brain awake past its bedtime. For hundreds of thousands of years, the setting sun told the human brain it's time to sleep, and every sunrise told it it's time to wake. That rhythm ran, uninterrupted, every single day. Today, that signal is gone. Streetlights, screens, and lit rooms trick the brain into thinking night never really arrives, and many scientists believe this kind of artificial light delays the body's natural sleep cycle. Ancient humans never had to fight that. Their night was actually dark, and darkness itself became one of humanity's oldest sleep aids. But light wasn't the only piece of it. Their whole way of life made deep sleep easier, and the next reason might surprise you even more. A day in the life of an ancient human, walking through forest, climbing hills, crossing rivers, gathering food, hunting, building shelter, hauling wood back to camp. That wasn't exercise, it was just life. Some researchers estimate hunter-gatherers often covered 10 to 15 kilometers on foot in a single day. By sunset, their muscles were spent and their energy nearly gone, so when they finally lay down by the fire, sleep didn't need to be forced, it just came. Compare that to a modern day: sit in the car, sit at the desk, sit at lunch, sit on the couch, then lie down in bed and wonder why sleep won't come. Our bodies evolved for constant movement. Most of us now spend the bulk of the day almost completely still. There's another gap: sunlight. Ancient humans were outside from sunrise to sunset, and that natural morning light, filtered through trees, not stared into directly, worked like a biological clock, quietly telling the brain when to be alert and when to wind down. Today, most of that day happens indoors, under office lighting and screen glow, and the internal clock gets confused about whether it's morning or midnight. Then there's stress, and this is where the difference gets interesting. Ancient life was genuinely dangerous: predators, storms, food scarcity, real threats to survival. But these were immediate. Once the danger passed, the body actually relaxed. Modern stress rarely works that way. We lie down safe and warm, and the mind keeps running anyway. What if I fail? What if I lose my job? What if tomorrow goes wrong? The body is still, the brain isn't. Ancient humans rarely dragged tomorrow's worries into the middle of the night because their focus barely extended past today. Survive today, eat today, protect the family today. Tomorrow would show up with the sun. And here's maybe the most surprising piece of all: ancient humans probably didn't sleep in one unbroken 8-hour block. A number of historians and sleep researchers believe that before artificial lighting, people commonly slept in two phases: A few hours down, a quiet stretch awake to talk, tend the fire, check on the kids, or just look at the stars, then back to sleep until morning. If that's true, waking briefly in the night isn't a malfunction. It might be one of the oldest, most normal parts of being human. The real mystery isn't why our ancestors sometimes woke up at 3 a.m. It's why we panic when we do. As the sun went down, ancient humans didn't flip a switch. They watched the sky do it for them. Blue to orange, orange to deep purple, then dark. No advertisements, no screens, no scrolling. Just the glow of a campfire, humanity's original nightlight. Families gathered around it. Some told stories, others repaired tools, parents settled children, elders passed down what they knew. No rush, no pressure. The night belonged to conversation, not distraction. Even the soundscape was different. Wind in the trees instead of traffic, insects instead of notifications, the crackle of a fire instead of city noise. All of it worked in the same direction, toward calm. Compare that to a typical night now, the last hour before bed spent on a bright screen, watching something exciting, reading stressful news, answering one more message. The brain stays lit up long after the body's ready to shut down. Ancient humans never had that kind of stimulation working against them. When darkness came, the world actually got quieter and their minds slowed down with it. Temperature mattered too. As night fell, the air cooled, and the human body naturally drops its own temperature before sleep, so a cooling environment worked with that process instead of against it. Today, homes often stay warm, bright, and busy well past midnight, sending the body mixed signals about whether it's supposed to be awake or asleep. Ancient humans never had that confusion. Nature answered the question every single evening. There may have been one more forgotten ingredient: gratitude. After surviving another day, finding food, protecting the family, staying safe, simply making it to another sunset was something worth noticing. Fire burning low, stars overhead, a few quiet minutes where nothing else mattered. That feeling of safety, surrounded by family under an open sky, may have been one of the most effective sleep aids our species ever had. But even with all of that working in their favor, ancient humans faced one thing that could keep an entire tribe awake: fear. And how they handled it might be the most useful lesson of all. Part 4. The nights they could never forget. Even the best sleepers had bad nights, and ancient humans were no exception. A storm rolling through could flood the camp and put out the fire, their main source of safety, gone in an instant. A wolf's howl or a distant roar could put the whole camp on alert. Nobody expected a full night's rest on those nights. Hunters reached for spears, parents pulled children close, elders watched the tree line. Fear was shared, not carried alone. That might be one of humanity's biggest advantages. Today, a lot of people lie awake fighting their worries in silence. Ancient humans rarely carried every burden by themselves. The tribe was the support system. Someone got sick, others brought food. A hunter got hurt, the group covered for him. Even on the hardest nights, nobody faced it completely alone. Modern research backs this up. Feeling safe and socially connected is linked to better sleep. Our ancestors likely had that feeling built into nearly every night of their lives. There's also a difference in expectations. Ancient humans didn't expect a perfect 8 hours. Danger meant staying up. Calm meant sleeping. They weren't lying there thinking, I only have 6 hours left. I'll be exhausted tomorrow. I have to fall asleep right now. They just let the body respond. Ironically, that's exactly the kind of anxiety that makes modern insomnia worse. The harder you chase sleep, the further it runs. Ancient humans probably never chased it. They waited for it and welcomed it when it came. At dawn, sunlight hit the trees, birds started up, the fire got rebuilt, kids woke up on their own. No snooze button, no alarm going off 10 times. Nature was the only alarm they needed. So did ancient humans actually have perfect sleep? Or have we just misunderstood what healthy sleep is supposed to look like? Honest answer, probably not perfect. A sick child, a nearby predator, a brutal winter night, the loss of someone they loved, any of that could keep a person up, just like it does now. They were human, same as us. The real difference is frequency. For ancient humans, a sleepless night was the exception. For millions of people today, it's the routine. Our bodies are still running software built for a different environment, one with sunlight in the morning, real darkness at night, daily movement, natural sound, and a consistent rhythm. Instead, most of us are indoors all day, staring at screens, drinking coffee too late, staying up well past sunset, then wondering why sleep feels so hard to reach. Maybe the problem was never that our bodies changed. Maybe the world just changed faster than our biology could keep up with. Drop an ancient hunter into a modern city, lights everywhere, traffic at 2 a.m., phones buzzing, TVs glowing, and he'd probably assume the sun never sets here. Drop a modern office worker into that same ancient forest, no internet, no alarms, no streetlights, just stars, a fire, and the sound of wind, and within a few days their body would likely start finding that old rhythm on its own. That might be the real lesson. Good sleep was never something you buy. It's not hiding in a mattress or a bottle of pills. It starts with the basics. Move during the day, get real sunlight, dim the lights at night, keep a steady routine, and let the mind actually slow down. Ancient humans didn't have any of our technology, but they had something a lot of us have lost, a life still tuned to nature's clock. Maybe that's exactly why their nights were calmer, their mornings came with the sunrise, and sleep just arrived. So next time you're lying there staring at the ceiling, remember this. For hundreds of thousands of years, humanity slept under open sky, not because life was easy, but because their bodies moved with nature instead of against it. Maybe the greatest sleep secret was never discovered in a lab. Maybe it was just quietly practiced night after night by people who lived thousands of years before us. If this journey into ancient sleep habits was worth your time, hit like and subscribe for more on ancient history, human evolution, and the survival habits we've forgotten. And tell us in the comments, what's the one thing keeping you up at night? Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next journey into the ancient world.